Okay, let's, well, I'm going to give you my take on what's going on today. Um, you know, actually, no. Let's talk about people who don't want to talk about politics. They don't want to talk about politics. They don't want to hear about politics because they don't want to be pissed off. Well, 20 years ago, I could understand that. I really could because, the Washington, D.C. Congress, politicians, it was all business as usual, nothing crazy, nothing new to really talk about. They did what they did, and that was that. And the things that they did do didn't affect us in a huge, huge way. I mean, it affected us, yes, and Republicans have been trying to not help regular Americans for years, okay? For years. And it's only gotten worse. Now, today, we have to talk about it. It needs to be talked about. It needs to be discussed. It needs to be out in front, out in front, to where everybody knows what's going on. Because right now, they are actively trying to suppress votes, take away the rights of people from voting. That's what they're trying to do right now. The SAVE Act, especially women, okay, and people of color. They don't want them to vote. Why? Well, it's simple. People of color, as a rule, generally vote for Democrats. Okay. And as a rule, women generally vote for Democrats. Now, before Trump won in 2024, okay, there was the Project 2025. And one of the guys, and I can't remember what his name was, but he said, we are going to repeal the 20th century. Nice, huh? But the truth of the matter is that politics is important. We have to talk about it. We got to know about what's going on, especially now in this atmosphere that we're living in. I mean, in the last month, less than a month, gas has gone up over a buck, over $1. Now, for people that have got, more money than they could spend in a lifetime, more money than God, they don't care about that. They don't care about that. Why would they care about that? They can afford to put gas in their cars and not even bat an eye over it. But yet at the same time, here they are, they're trying to take money from infrastructure, not trying to, they did. They're trying to kill health coverage for ordinary Americans. And just let's be clear. Healthcare is not a privilege, it's a right. Everyone has the right to be able to be well, get well, feel well. Everyone has that right. Okay? That's just that's just being human. We have that right to be able to be well and not sick and not worry that we're going to die from something stupid. Okay? Like an infection. See, that's where the science comes in, and the Republicans trying to get rid of science, okay? Because you know what? I don't even know why. Somebody tell me why. Why would Republicans actively try to debunk science? That makes no sense at all. Okay? Without science, we wouldn't have penicillin, and therefore people would be dying from, you know, things that they don't need to die from. You know, and vaccinations, that conversation has been going on for years about vaccines and them causing different maladies or whatnot. If that were the case, if vaccines, cause death on a massive scale, that would be headline news. Everyone would know about it. Everyone would talk about it. And oh my God, we can't do this. But then what happens if that were to be the case? Well, this is what happens. You go back to the drawing board and you come up with something else that's not going to cause mass death. It's simple. If we weren't meant to have science, we wouldn't have science. If a person is a devout Christian, okay, then you should know that if we weren't meant to have science, we wouldn't have it. God wouldn't allow it, period. But to go back to people getting pissed off about what's going on in the world, not wanting to talk about politics, it's important. We need to know. We need to know what our future is going to be. We need to know that our kids and their kids and their kids' kids are going to have a future. Okay? Can't go around listening to certain politicians and then they give you a talking point to parrot, about how trans people using the wrong bathroom. Who cares about that? That's what bathroom stalls are for. Okay? It's simple. And a trans person does not affect your life in any way. Unless someone in your family happens to be trans, then okay, it's going to affect your life. But if that person is a loved one, okay, then why would you want to kick them out of your life? If they're part of your family, if you love them, if you've known them for their whole lives, I would much rather have someone in my life here and now in the physical world than them being nothing but a memory and then having nothing but regret. Oh, I should have done this. I should have said that. I shouldn't have said this. I shouldn't have said that. You know, I have a daughter. She considers herself to be part of the trans or the LGBTQ community. That's fine. She's still my daughter. She'll always be my daughter. Even when the day comes that I'm no longer here, she'll still be my baby. And it doesn't matter what her sexual preference is. She's my kid. I love her. I will always love her. And it wouldn't matter to me if she came to me tonight and said, Mom, God made a mistake. I'm actually a boy. I would help her to become who she was supposed to be, who the person is that would make her feel more comfortable living her life. And if that was being Jack instead of Janet, okay, that's good. I'm fine with that. I'm way fine with that because still my child. I still love them no matter what. It wouldn't matter. And these culture wars, okay, someone who's trans, someone who's doesn't see things the way that you do, so what? Does that hatred that you have help you to put food on the table? Does it help you to heat your home? Does it help you to keep your home? Does it do anything to put money in your bank account? Anything at all? I mean, does that absolute disdain for some culture BS keep you warm at night? Does it make you help you sleep better at night? I don't think so. And if it does, well, then get help because there's something wrong. And to listen to the, I can't even say it, to 47, okay, to listen to Trump, he makes no sense. In a war with Iran, 1 minute. The next minute, oh, we've won the war. The next minute, well, our allies should help us with the Strait of Hormuz. The next minute, oh, we don't need our allies. Makes no sense. None. He makes no sense. Our elected leaders need to make sense. And there's a reason why the president, when it comes to picking their cabinet, why they pick people that are smarter than them. Those people are there to advise and to keep the President of the United States from making a complete and total ass of himself. Okay? We cannot have a president that thinks he is the smartest person in the room. That doesn't make any sense because the President of the United States, a president of any country, is not going to be the smartest person in the room. You have to have people, advisors, that will give you advice, advice that you'll listen to, advice that you think is smart, that's actually smart, not advice because you said it and they're going to agree with you. What does that serve? Oh, well, I said it. They agree with me, so it must be right. That's not right. It doesn't work that way. You ask the person for advice, it's what would you do in this situation? And if they tell you something that differs from what you said, then you ask another person and another person. And if all those people agree with the first person you asked, then maybe that's the right way to go. But you don't go around asking them, what would you do? Would you do this? If I mean, I think we should do it this way. Oh, yeah, yes, absolutely, Mr. President, we should do it that way. That doesn't make any sense. And then here they are, they're going around and they're firing generals, okay? Career soldiers, military strategists, tacticians, people that know how to fight a battle and win it. When you fire those people, guess what happens? Soldiers die, troops die, civilians die. That's what happens when you fire those people that are career military people. They're career military because that's what they chose to be for their career. That's what they chose to do with their life. These are the things that they chose to study, to learn about. So that way they can make smart decisions, correct decisions, decisions that will save lives. That's the important thing. When you're fighting a war, you want to save lives. You want to keep from having civilian casualties. That's the point. And it doesn't matter if the civilians happen to be enemy civilians, they're civilians. They've got nothing to do with what's going on. They don't make the decisions that affect millions of other people. They live their lives. They get up every day and they try to figure out how they're going to take care of their families today. Okay? They're not getting up this morning and saying, gee, how could I possibly, you know, kill a bunch of people? They don't do that. Folks are just folks the world over, and their concerns are the same as yours or mine. How am I going to survive today? How am I going to take care of my family today? How am I going to be able to get my kid the medicine they need if they get sick today? Those are the things that they are thinking about. Those are the things that keep them up at night, keep us up at night. Anyway, my take. And anything I say is just, you know what? It's my opinion. It could be right, it could be wrong. I don't know. It's just my opinion. Do with it what you will. My name is Rain, and you have a great day.